Good morning, good day, good evening, everybody. For today, we will be discussing literature from the continents or the continuation for the literature of the continents, focusing on the East Asian region, Middle East region, Central Asian region, as well as South Asian region. Starting with the beautiful country of Korea. Korea is known to be greatly influenced by China's cultural dominance. As we discussed last time, we have established that China is one of the most dominant countries in Asia as well as, of course, in the East Asian region. Therefore, most of the East Asian countries are under the Chinese government. But some of the countries are free from their government or their political control. One example of that is Korea. So saan siya nado-dominate ng China? They are focusing on influencing the culture of the countries that are not under their political governance. Moving on to Korea's writing system, they have developed their own writing system during the 15th century, which is called Hangul. Some people mistook Hangul as the Korean language, but it is not. Rather, it is called Hangukmal, meaning Hanguk means Korea and Mal means words. Ibig sabihin, they are talking about the words of the Koreans. Usually, Korean literature focuses on the topics alienation, conscience, and identity. Bakit ganun yung usual topics nila? It is because yung country ng Korea, as we all know, ay divided into two regions. We have the North Korea and South Korea. So bakit sila nakaka-feel ng alienation, conscience, and loss of identity? Dahil nga magkahiwalay sila, some people from the South Korean region cannot enter the North Korean region and vice versa. So ang mangyayari, the Koreans na nakalocate from those peninsulas or regions ay hindi mafe-feel yung buong identity as a Korean dahil nga po hindi sila allowed na maka-enter on each other's premises. That's why they will never experience kung ano ba dapat yung na-experience ng isang Korean citizen that has been living on both parts of the Korean peninsula unless magkaroon sila ng unification. Focusing now on the author from Korea, we have Choi Nam-son. He is a prominent historian, a pioneering poet, and a publisher. Kilala si Choi Nam-son in publishing his own works. Sabi dito, he is a leading member of the modern Korean literary movement, pioneering the modern Korean poetry. So si Choi Nam-son daw yung isa sa mga naunang sumulat ng modern Korean poetry, and coming from the word pioneer, sila yung mga nagpasimula nun. Sabi dito, the most famous writing of Choi Nam-son is entitled The Ocean to the Youth, and it aims to produce cultural reform for the youth. As Choi Nam-son is known to be a pioneer of the modern Korean poetry, ibig sabihin modernist si Choi Nam-son. That's why ang fino-focus niya is to encourage the youth na magkaroon ng pagbabago sa kanilang society. And kung meron siyang gustong pagbabago na mangyayari sa society, tinatarget niya o sinasabi niya na dapat ito ay nanggagaling sa mga kabataan o sa mga youth. Next country that we have is Japan. It is also influenced by the Chinese language as well as literature. And if we're gonna describe kung ano yung itsura or yung description natin for Japanese literature, it is very rich and unique. Bakit siya unique? Because Japanese people focuses on beauty rather than the content. Other countries focuses on the meaning or the representation that their literature have. Compared to Japan, they are focusing on the beauty, kung paano or kung gaano kaganda sinulat yung isang literary piece, kung gaano siya kaganda tignan, as well as kung gaano siya kaganda pakinggan kapag binasa na siya ng malakas. If they will describe it, they want it to be simple yet complex, as well as imperfect yet abounding with beauty. Aside from written literature, Japanese people is also fond of theatrical plays. So they have two types or two examples of theatrical plays. First one, they have No. It is a traditional theatrical form, so plain acting lang siya. In comparison sa pangalawa nating theatrical play, which is Kabuki. Ano naman yung Kabuki? It is popular drama known for having singing and dancing during their performances. So if we're gonna describe it, ang No is purely acting lamang. So dramatization lamang siya. However, in Kabuki, it is a musical. Kasi meron siyang involved na singing as well as dancing. Sino ang ating sikat na author from Japan? We have here Abe Kobo. Abe Kobo is a novelist, a playwright, and kilala rin siya sa tawag na Abe Kimifusa. So meron siyang other name. Saan nakilalang writing si Abe Kobo? The title of his famous work is Tomodachi, meaning friend in English. Tungkol saan itong Tomodachi? Sabi dyan, it is best known play featuring dark humor and revealing the peculiarity of human relations in the present age. Sabi dito, hindi natin pinagfokusan yung beauty and yung comfort na nabibigay sa atin ng friendship. But rather, pinagfokusan ni Abe Kobo yung dark side ng friendship natin. Sabi niya, kaya lang daw pinipili ng mga tao na magkaroon ng mga friends or mga connection sa other people is because they are benefiting from one another. Kapag daw yung benefit na yun ay nawawala na rin daw yung connection natin sa isa't isa. So that is the dark part of friendship na tinutukan ni Abe Kobo. In terms of awards, Abe Kobo is known in winning the 1951 and the 1967 Akutagawa Award. What is Akutagawa Award? It is an award being given sa mga Japanese literary authors na pasikat pa lamang or yung mga tinatawag natin na rising author. So Abe Kobo was able to win it twice sa kanyang writing career. Tapos na tayo sa mga East Asian region. Let us now move on sa Middle Eastern literary pieces. Sabi dito, to describe the Middle Eastern literary pieces or literature, it features Arabic literary tradition. So mostly, na mga writings nila ay nagfo-focus sa mga countries within Arab region. So sabi dyan, what is the foundation of their culture? It is founded based on the Islam teachings or the religion of Islam. They are also experiencing difficulties or yung mga literary writers dito, they are experiencing difficulties in producing literary texts because of two reasons. First reason that they have is nalilimit yung kanilang freedom of expression sa kanilang mga countries. Secondly, they have tension between religious and non-secular movements. So, nahati kasi na yung kanilang country. Meron tayong mga tao doon sa countries nila na nakafocus mostly sa religion. Very strict in terms of religion. However, syempre, meron din naman na mga non-religious. So, bakit sila naiipit doon? Kasi pag nag-release sila ng isang religion-based na story o kaya religion-based literary text, nagagalit yung mga non-secular. Feeling nila hindi sila napaprioritize. Now, kapag naman nag-release sila ng secular na writing or literary piece or kapag nag-release sila ng non-religious content, nagagalit naman yung mga religious people. So, yun yung struggle ng mga literary writers sa Middle Eastern part of Asia. Sino namang author natin from Middle East Asia? We have Abbas Mahmoud Al-Akkad. He is an Egyptian poet, journalist, and literary critic. Ibig sabihin, galing siya sa bansang Egypt. Sabi dito, he is a known innovator of the 20th century Arabic poetry and criticism. So sa lahat ng authors na madidiscuss natin or na-discuss natin, Abbas Mahmoud Al-Akkad is the only one na kilala bilang literary critic. Anong ginagawa niya as a critic? He has been reading and suggesting and commenting sa mga literary pieces na pinoproduce ng mga co-authors niya. Saan kilalang literary text si Abbas Mahmoud Al-Akkad? He is known for his Abkariyat series. It is a 7-book compilation that covers the life of the 7 most important Sahaba. Sino po ba yung mga Sahaba? Sila po yung mga disciples and followers of Muhammad ng Islam religion. Sabi dito, 7 books ang bumubuo sa Abkariyat series. Bakit? Kasi 7 din po yung sahaba natin. So dahil merong 7, each one of them have their own book dyan sa collection ng Abkariyat series. Moving on to South Asia. South Asia, katulad ng East Asian region, ay meron din silang one dominant country, and that is India. Sabi dito, if we're gonna describe India, it is a cultural giant in South Asia, meaning almost all of the countries in South Asia ay naiimpluwensyahan niya in terms of culture. Meron silang 3 books na ginagamit dito sa South Asia as something na pwede nilang gamitin as a guide of life o kaya kung paano tamang mamuhay sa mundo. Ano-ano yung mga librong yon? We have 3 in total. First one is Veda, second one is Brahmanas, and lastly we have Upanishads. Ano-ano or tungkol saan yung mga librong ito? First, in Veda, we have the mantras and hymns. Ito yung mga motivational quotations, motivational essays, inspirational essays na sinusulat nila para maging guide ng mga tao on their everyday living. Next naman, we have Brahmanas. This consists of rituals and ceremonies na nakabase sa kanilang mga pinapractice sa kanilang religion. Lastly, we have Upanishads. It talks about meditation, philosophy, and spiritual knowledge. So more likely, medyo mas educational itong Upanishads compared sa naunang dalawa. Lastly, for information din, ang language na ginagamit in South Asia is the Sanskrit language. It was produced during the 1500 BCE. Next, let us discuss the authors from South Asia. We have 2 authors in total. First one is Kalidasa and second one is Rabindranath Tagore. Sino sila? Let us discuss them. Kalidasa is a notable and famous Indian writer. He is a poet and a dramatist and kilala siya bilang Hindu Shakespeare. Si Shakespeare, William Shakespeare, is kilala sa pagiging isang author na nagsusulat ng mga tragic stories. For example, Romeo and Juliet. So si Kalidasa, nakilala din siya bilang Hindu Shakespeare. Bakit? Same concept with William Shakespeare, kilala siya din sa pagsulat ng mga tragic or sad stories. One example of his story is Shakuntala, or also known as Abhijnana Sakuntalam. This writing is known in being a mirror or almost the same concept of Romeo and Juliet. Kaya nga, si Kalidasa nakilala siya bilang Hindu Shakespeare. Next author natin, we have Rabindranath Tagore. He is a Bengali poet, a short story writer, a song composer, playwright, essayist, and a painter. Ang dami niyang ginagawa sa buhay, no? Pero that just means he is very talented. He is known as the Bard of Bengal and most famous modern Indian poet. If you're gonna ask me kung ano yung meaning ng bard, ang ibig sabihin niya na isang tao na magaling kumanta or a singer-songwriter. That's why kilala si Rabindranath Tagore in writing songs from his own poetry. So yun yung ibig sabihin ng Bard of Bengal. He is known in winning the 1913 Nobel Prize for Literature. Ang pinakasikat na writing ni Rabindranath Tagore is entitled The English Gitanjali or Song Offerings. Ang English Gitanjali ay tumutukoy sa iba't ibang mga collection ng mga song na sinulat ni Rabindranath Tagore to offer or to worship yung kanila pong supreme or yung kanilang Diyos na sinasamba sa kanilang country. So that is Rabindranath Tagore. Lastly, we have here the Central Asian literature. To describe the Central Asian region of the continent Asia, it differs in literary characteristics and political and culture. Bakit sila merong differences or bakit isang region lang naman sila pero magkakaiba sila ng mga perspective? It is because some countries in Central Asian region has been influenced by the Russian culture. Naapektuhan sila ng European culture dahil tumatawid ito sa Russian country. So, bakit sila naapektuhan? Kasi most parts ng Russia ay parang kasama na din or kadikit natin in Asia. Kaya lahat ng culture na meron sila, possible na na-adapt or nakukuha ng mga tao living in the Central Asian region. We only have one author from the Central Asian region named Abdullah Qadiri. So, Abdullah Qadiri is also known by the pseudonym Julkunboy. So, si Abdullah Qadiri, gumagamit siya ng pen name or yung pseudonym kapag siya ay nagsusulat, which is Julkunboy. Pero, bakit natin alam yung kanyang original name compared kay Bob Ong? Because si Abdullah Qadiri, hindi niya talaga kinoconceal yung kanyang sarili or yung kanyang pagkatao. Unlike Bob Ong, gusto niya kasi mag-remain as mysterious or anonymous. Kaya, tago sa kanya. Hindi natin alam if yung Roberto Ong is original name talaga ni Bob Ong. So, si Abdullah Qadiri, we are sure na siya si Abdullah Qadiri and ang kanyang pen name lang ay Julkunboy. Sabi dito, Abdullah Qadiri is one of the most influential Uzbek writers of the 20th century, meaning mula sa countryng Uzbekistan si Abdullah Qadiri. He is a known playwright, poet, and a literary translator. So, very unique itong si Abdullah Qadiri because from all of the authors that we discuss, he is the only one na literary translator, meaning he has been translating different literary pieces from their country and possibly mula din sa ibang bansa. The most famous writing of Abdullah Qadiri is entitled Otgan Kunlar. Since translator nga itong si Abdullah Qadiri, we also have an English version of the title ng Otgan Kunlar, which is Days Gone By. It is known as the first Uzbek full-length novel. So sabi dito, as a novelist, kilala si Abdullah Qadiri na pinakaunang nag-release ng full-length novel sa kanilang country in Uzbekistan. So, if you have questions with this discussion, any clarifications that you want to ask me, pwede po kayong mag-send sa ating GC so that I can answer it for everyone to understand. Kasi po kapag piniem nyo yan, kayo lang yung makakaalam ng answer doon sa question. And maybe, hindi lang ikaw yung gustong mag-ask ng question na yon. So for the benefit of everyone, ask your question sa GC natin para po lahat kayo makakaalam din ng dagdag na information na sasabihin ko. Okay po? That's it for our discussion, everyone. Thank you for listening and I hope that you learned something new today. Goodbye.